Hi, as usual. How you doing? This is Owen. All right, so this one I'm about to show you. Just remember, not everybody sees this, so yeah, just keep that in mind when I'm showing it. This is backdoor information. So, all right, so I got you life insurance right here. I got you started off with $100,000 whole life policy, right? So, as soon as you sign the policy, if something were happening that same day, you would get 100,000, right? So I want to introduce you to this right here on the side right here, right? It says yeah, female. I don't know your real age right now, but you're around age 55, right? All right, now let me see if I put everything right. Yeah, all right. So policy, the way that we have it set up right now, where you just pay it every month. You have to pay it every month, or like they give you a time if you don't pay it. But the way this policy pays is just that you pay it every month, right? So it'll cost about 339 a month and 10 cents, all right? And for a full year, that comes out to about $3,420.60. Well, hold on a second. Let me see something. I think I'll take some stuff off of there. Give me 1 second. You don't need that. Uh, you don't need that right now. You don't need that right there. Yeah. You don't need any of the riders right there. Now, those are extra stuff like if you get chronically ill, if you think something's gonna happen to you, if you want to pay a little bit extra for that stuff. So look, that helps tremendously, right? Because then look, the balance goes down to you're paying $285.05 a month, all right? So that brings you the base premium that you're paying for an entire year, $3,420 a year, right? Now, what I want to introduce you to is this right here, right? This basically is how much you're paying per year. So first year, 34.20. Second year, you're paying the same amount. But if you look at right here, the cumulative premium, that's how much it builds up. This is how much you have to pay a year. This is the total of how much you pay a year. And this is let's say year one. This is if you said after year one, if you don't want the policy anymore, this is how much they'll actually give you back year one. So the first year you wouldn't get anything back. The second year, it's this way produced. I'm using a slider. The second year you'd get 1,502 back, even though you paid 6,841. Right. So let's just scoodle it up to about like 10 years, right? After 10 years, because you're paying 3,420 a month, a year, right? The total you've paid after 10 years is going to be 34,206. Now, after 10 years, if you said, look, it's been 10 years and I don't want this policy anymore, what your cash surrender value at that time is 29,324. But also look at your death benefit. It started off at 100,000 and it went up to 114,000. So if anything would have happened, someone gets 114,000, right? So let's speed it up to where the amount that you pay every year, right, that builds up right here, it equals to say, well, look, if I don't want the policy anymore, this is how much money I'll get back. Because after 10 years, you're either going to be able to keep your death benefit, right, that built up, right, that the company gives you if anything happens to you, or you're going to say that you don't want it, and this is the cash surrender value that you get, right, which is after 10 years is a bit lower than what you put in. It's about around 5,000 lower than what you put in, right? Well, let's say after 11, 12, let's see where it catches up. So right here it catches up at about like 15 years. You see that? Right about 15 years. If you said, look, I've been paying for this for 15 years now, all right? And if I don't want it anymore, I can take it out at 51,722, right? Now you keep paying into it, right? And after the 15 years, the amount that you put into it, like the cash surrender value, it builds up higher than what you actually put into the account. So you've put in 64,991, right? But after the 15 years, it starts building up. So anything that you would borrow or take out, it's more than what you actually put in, like in a regular, I don't say regular savings because this is different. All right, but it did build up higher than the money that you put in because of the interest and things like that, right? So it took about 15 years to do that, right? You're paying 285 a month, 34.20 a year, right? And by the 15th year, you're able to take out higher than what you actually put in, right? And you still have the death benefit. You don't have to take it out. You can borrow it, right? They'll charge you some interest for like a year, like they'll charge you like a yearly interest fee, right? But you can borrow 10,000 or 20,000 and still have the rest in the account, right? So you can do that. There is an option to do that. All right, so that's your benefit. But what I really want to show you is something else. So now that you know all of that stuff, we're gonna keep this the same. We're just gonna switch this to a custom whole life, right? And we're gonna keep this. The retirement age in America is about 65. So let's say like 55, something like that, around there. We're gonna put it to about 10, 11 years, right? Now we're gonna put a rider on here. This is gonna be called the optional to get paid up additions, right? Give me 1 second. Just make sure you have that on there. 1 second, 1 second. All right. Now, give me 1 second. Let me make sure everything's working on here. Custom whole life premium monthly. Let me see. All right. So just like what we were talking about before, right? Now, if you look at your premium, because I put a rider on there, your price is higher at $503.86 a month, right? We can do it so that it's lower, right? A bit lower. So if we were to spread it to like, let's just say about like 14 years, right? That price is gonna recalculate. It's gonna change. It's gonna be a bit lower. So it's about 423, right? See if there's anything else I can do to make it a little bit lower. But let's just say it's about 423, right? All right. So then you're paying $5,087 a year, right? But this is different. Remember, we chose the custom whole life this time, right? We put that rider on it that made it more expensive, right? But now I want you to look at this. This is the premium that you pay a year right here, right? After 1 year, right? There's 12 payments of 423.95, right? So first year, cumulative altogether, you paid this amount. Your death benefit it's at 100,000. Look what happens at just year two. Year two now, right? I'm sorry. 1 second. Year two, right? You're still paying the 587 a year, right? All right, you paid altogether now because it's the end of 2 years. You paid 10,174, right? Your cash value after 2 years, it's higher this time. I don't think you noticed it before, but it was zero, and it's pretty low. I'm gonna show you in a minute, but it's a bit higher right now, and I'm gonna show you why. Right? So after 2 years, you have some cash surrender value. Right? Now let's go to year 10, just 10 this time, right? At year 10, right, you've paid 50,000 into it, right? And this cash surrender value is already at 47,900, right? So now let's go to we did this for 14 years. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Let's just because we started it and we put it a little bit higher, right? Actually, I think the original was 11. So right, so like retirement age, let's put it like right around retirement age, right? So right, so let's go to year 10 now again, right? So year 10, you put in 60,000 because you put about $6,000 in a month, just around there, right? And because it's less years, it might be a little bit higher, right? Depending on how we do it. But let's say about 10 years, right? You put $6,000 in a year. Uh, after 5 years, after 5 years, you put in 30,000. You'll be able to take out 22,000. You'll be able to borrow it, right? Right? And you'll still be able to have the death benefit, right? If you just want to take out 10,000, if you want to take out the full amount, you still have it. They're gonna charge you interest on it, right? But think about it. If they charge you like 5.33%, right? And you have like another annuity or something like that that's at 6%, you can take the cash out of here, leverage your life insurance policy, and put it into another policy I mean, you put it into another plan, sometimes like an annuity, that's earning 6%, right? Depending on how you want to do it, right? But the reason for this whole rider that you have is so that you have the whole thing for it is so that you can take money out of it quicker, right? Because Alon didn't offer you that, right? So this one, after about 5 years, excuse me, um, this one after 5 years, you can already take out 22,000 of the 30,000 you put in. But that's not the only thing, right? Right? After 5 years, you pay 30,000. Let's go to we put it for the 11 years. Let's put it on 11 years. After 11 years of paying 6,000, you paid 66,509,000, right? Which, if you said, look, after 11 years, I don't want this policy anymore, right? Even though you have the death policy, or look, I want to take out 67,000. I would say, let's say you just want to take out what you put in, 66,509,000. You still have, and you just want to leave $1,000 in there, something like that, right? Just to make it look a certain way. You still have the death benefit in there of 114,000. So it's going to be 114,000, right, after 11 years, minus the 66,000 that you put in. All right. So you only left $1,000 from your original principal, right? Right. You put this in, right? You left the 1,000 left over here, right? And you still have the death benefit that they're gonna pay you, right? You don't have to pay it back. If you don't pay it back, they're just gonna take this and deduct the amount that's here. So you're still gonna get like 14,000 plus whatever interest keeps building it. But let me show you something else. See all this money you've been putting in, right? Look what happens after the set amount of years that we put. Look what happens on year 12. Look what happens to the premium that you have to pay every month, every year. That goes to zero. Year 13, 14, 15, 18, for the rest of your life, that goes to zero. You see what I mean? So let's take like a nice number, like let's say 18 years from now. I don't go too far, right? It's about like 18 years, right? You're not paying any premium anymore, right? You still have that 66,000 that built up on year 11, right? 66,000. That's total you put in. If you said, look, after 18 years, I don't want the policy anymore, you can take out $95,538, right? Or if you just want to take out 90,000, right? You still have a death benefit of $139,490, right? Right? Now, because you took out 90,000, only left $5,000 in, they're gonna take away. It's gonna be 139,490. Let me do the calculations for that really quick, so that you have that number with you, right? 139. Sorry, excuse me. 49. Sorry, give 1 second. 139,440. Right, and we're gonna minus that by 90,000 if you decide to borrow that. All right, so that's 49,000, right? So now that $49,000, right, is going to still be in the account, right? If something happens to you on that day, they're gonna give somebody $48,000. But if it keeps going, right, it'll keep building interest. So if you see what I'm saying, like if you take out 10,000, if you just want 15,000, you just look, I wanted to set it up for 11 years, right? And after 11 years, I just want to get my principal money back, right? And I just want to have a secure death benefit after that, right? You can do that, and that'll keep growing, right? So I can do that again. 114,000 minus 67,000, right? It's gonna be less than 49,000, but you're still gonna have your death benefit there, right? And that's gonna keep growing after 11 years, right? And that's what you want, and that's what I want to show you, right? So I want to show you, like, if you put in a premium, whatever you put in a premium, it could be less, but whatever money that you put in after a certain amount of time, if you do have an emergency, if you do want to pull some money out, you can always pull it out after a couple of years, like about 3 years, it starts to build up. Let me show you the amount. About let's say 5 years. 5 years you put in 30,000, you can take out 22,380, or you could take out 10,000. You could about 5,000 if you have an emergency or something like that, right? You see what I'm saying? It's all dependent on you and how you want to do the policy, right? But your main goal is to try to finish it in 11 years so that you don't have any more payments. You see what I mean? All right. So that's basically everything I want to show you. If you have any questions, I guess you can still ask me.